In today's video, we're coming at you with a bunch of different mods we're going to be doing to this 2022 Kawasaki KLX300R. We're going to be going through pretty much focusing on the handling and different aspects like that of the bike, upgrading that. So we're going to start out with a set of fat bars. This right here is going to add a lot more durability. Hey, let's face it, when you're out there on the trail, you're going to drop your bike from time to time, and these stock bars a lot of times just can't take it. They're going to bend real easy. So adding a set of nice Pro Taper contour bars, this is going to add that strength that you need. We're going to be throwing on some Tusk D Flex handguards, and I don't know what it is, but these things came in there's like 5 or 6 different bags that come with this. This is just a plastic piece. We're going to be throwing on some ODI lock-on grips. Then we're going to be putting on some IMS foot pegs to really round out the build. This right here is going to add a lot of different stability for the bike, especially with those IMS pegs. Then I think in a later video, we're going to throw an FMF pipe on this. But that's probably all I'm looking to do to this bike. So if you want to follow along the journey, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get going. All right, so we're going to be doing these mods kind of in the order that I would suggest getting these. If I only had the money to get, let's say, one specific mod, or do these in just an order of progression, we're going to go ahead and do the foot pegs first. For me, this bike has super small foot pegs, and it just makes standing up on this bike and actually riding a dirt bike the way you need to ride it very difficult with these stock pegs. So we opted for these IMS super stock foot pegs, and you can kind of see how big these are. This is the stock one. This is the super stock from IMS. And just look at the differences. I mean, it's almost double the real estate, and that's going to provide a lot better footing when you're out there riding your dirt bike. I mean, this is just crazy that they would even throw this on a dirt bike. Here we go. Cotter pin. Wiggle it back and forth, get that pin out. And you can see how that spring just kind of stays there. Reinstall the cotter pin. All right, we got them installed. Just a lot more real estate for your foot. Look at this, we got the Crocs on. Everybody does a lot better work in Crocs. Just, I mean, look at that. Foot peg still sticks out further than, you know, my foot. Just a lot better. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot better. All right, guys, so we got the foot pegs installed yesterday, and like we said, that's probably the first mod. If I only had the money for one thing, I would definitely do the foot pegs first. Transforms the way this bike is. But we didn't get to shoot the entire video yesterday, so we're back today. We're gonna be installing all the handlebar stuff. So let's go ahead. We're gonna take these bars off and get it prepped to install the new handlebars, the handguards, and the grips. This front brake lever. We're just gonna kind of set this off to the side here. You definitely want to check the orientation of these cables to make sure you're going to put everything back the right way. Pull it out the side. Rotate this a little, pull that one out. All right, then your throttle tube's going to come off. All right, this one comes off the same way the starter did. All right, just dangle, and that's literally everything off the bars. So right here's a 12 mil for these. There we go. gonna slide this off the end. All right, get the bars off. All right, she's looking a little naked right now with no bars. But it's about to change. About to put these contour bars on. All right, so we got the Tusk big bar clamp. So that's gonna make this thing go from a regular 7/8 handlebar all the way up to a 1 1/8 inch big bar, which is what we have. Go ahead and get this opened. So just about everything you get from Tusk is gonna come with a nice little sticker. So it's always cool. Everybody loves stickers. I do too. Here's the clamps. You're gonna have to undo these, but they should sit in there nice and snug. All right, so you're gonna take the base, and we're gonna take 2 of the provided bolts with the blue Loctite, and we're gonna go ahead, in this orientation, go ahead and place this on there. We're gonna go through, tighten these down real quick. We should be able to get these bars in. So we got the stock bars, we got the Pro Taper bars. This is the Henry and Reed set. So you know how they have them where they're personalized to different riders. This is what we went with. But honestly, these aren't that much different as far as the bend goes from the stock. The stock's a little bit straighter across, and you can tell how these have like a downward sweep to them. They are the same length, so we're not gonna go through and cut these down. I don't like to cut new bars anyway. And for trail riding, I like a really wide bar as it is. Just gives me a little bit more control over the bike. But yeah, we're not gonna do any cutting to the ends. But if you're looking to cut it down a little bit, it does have reference marks here where you can do that. So, Pro Taper contour bars. Let's get them installed. We're probably just gonna do a very neutral, so it has reference marks at the top. So you can keep them like neutral. You can add a little bit of a degree or so to it. But those right there, you're just gonna line up as if that bar was flat across the top. All right, we got the caps. We'll go ahead and put these on. All right. We're gonna go ahead and tighten them down just a touch. Get them snug. So we're gonna go ahead and get these grips installed, but we're gonna have to modify them a little bit because we're gonna be running some bark busters or we're gonna be running some hand guards. So we're gonna have to modify the ends a little bit. They do make grips that are a little bit easier to cut than these. This right here, what we're gonna do is use a drill bit. But one cool thing about these ODI grips, these already come with the throttle cable attachments right there. And it comes with a bunch of different ones. And it even says 2-stroke, 4-stroke. So depending on your bike and its setup, you can adjust these. It's got like a hex pattern and they just fit right over the end there. But this right here just slides on as your throttle tube. And the other one is a lock on. So you can see how it has the lock right there. These are way easier to install than dealing with glue and just making a mess, and half the time that doesn't stick. And then you have to use wire, but you know, these lock-ons are gonna work good. And this is a really soft compound. I really like this. What we're gonna do, since this is a closed off end and it's plastic, now it does have a little bitty hole. You can't really see it too good, but it does have a hole in there. We're gonna use that to kind of reference the drill bit and send it on through there so we can make the spot for our bar end to go through so we can lock on those hand guards. So we went through with this ODI set, and like we said, it provides a bunch of these little pieces right here so you can match it up to whatever bike you need. And all I did was pull off the old throttle tube and see what kind of pattern it is. You can see how this one's larger over here and it has a smaller end right there. Well, you just find whichever one matches up directly to that, and then you go ahead and pop the old one off that it comes with, and you install the new one. You see how easy it just pops on and off? So that's all you have to do. These things are pretty sweet. We're gonna go ahead and get the ends drilled out of these. What I went ahead and done is pulled out pretty much the bar ends for the hand guards just to see the diameter. When you pull it out of the packaging, it's gonna have this rubber sleeve on it. So the rubber sleeve is if you're gonna be using steel bars, like the ones that came on it, the stock bars, you're gonna have to use a sleeve. Well, where we have aluminum bars, they're a little bit thinner on the inside diameter, so you're gonna use this right here. So you take that sleeve off. And all I did was match that up to whatever drill bit we're gonna use. And then we have it, I don't even know what this is. Oh, 1/2 inch drill bit. But we're gonna start out with a little bit smaller of a drill bit. That way we can get a hole started. All right, so we've got this little starter hole. You go ahead and do that to the other grip too. And just be cautious when you're doing this. Oh, that one went right through. I'll go ahead and switch out the bit. Let's go nice and easy. All right, there we go. It's going relatively easy. Get these lined up. Seems to function. Oh yeah, fit and finish is just way better on this. There's like no play hardly. Just feels way more high quality. All right, so we got the throttle tube on here. We got this all situated. We're gonna go ahead and place these screws in here. Just tighten this thing down. Slide this as close as we can. All right, so this one's pretty tight. This is a really tight fit. Bless. Guess that's what you want. I don't have a rubber mallet right now, so I'm just giving it some love taps. Let's go nice and easy if you have to do this. We're bottomed out. Didn't break the grip, thank God. This thing's screwed down. I'll leave a little room for the kill switch. All right, with the bars, last thing we gotta do is put this bar pad on. And this is one of the reasons I like the fat bars, is it comes with this huge pad, which I think looks sick. It just looks way better than like a traditional pad would, just on like a bar that has the cross beam across it. By the way, off camera, we went ahead and tightened down those bar clamps. All right, looks pretty good on it. So come in like a million different pieces. These were in here along with the bar ends. You also get this, which is the actual hand guards. These right here go on the outside of these metal bars. And then finally you get the clamps that clamp it to the bar in the middle. So tons of different packaging here. We're gonna go ahead and get these opened up so we can actually use them. And one good thing about these, I will say, these are made super nice. It's hard to find something this affordable that's this robust. Well, good thing about it, they give you a gazillion stickers. Nobody's gonna be complaining about that. Make sure that these get there. And if you order these off of Rocky Mountain's website, you're gonna get all of these just when you purchase the handguards themselves. They just ship in different bags. So I don't know why. We're gonna start trying to assemble these. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the metal portion here, slide it in. Just take your hardware. I'm just gonna get them all mocked up. We'll screw them in here in a second with the screwdriver. There we go. You just go on the sides. All right, so that's a handguard. I'm not going to bore you with doing the other side. You're going to do it the same way. And then we're going to go ahead and get these clamps installed on the bars. And then we're going to get the bar inserts into the ends of the grips. All right, we're not snugging that down. We still have a lot more to do before we get to that step. Into the hole we have in the end of our grip. All right. Go ahead and get the D-Flex handguard and just insert this in. Just to kind of hold it. We're not going to tighten it down or anything yet. We're going to have to adjust this. Probably pull this one out just a touch. All right, I'm actually going to get on the bike and see if we're straight. Yeah, they look about right. All right, let's go ahead and get these things tightened down. We should be good to go. All right, and you always want to double check to make sure you have clearance on your clutch lever and your brake lever. Obviously my brake lever is non-existent pretty much, but we're good on the clutch throw. So there we go, guys. Nice little install. It was relatively easy too. All right, guys, we're finally finished with this build, and it turned out amazing. I really like the way these handguards look, and I know they're gonna perform just as good. These things are really solid for around 80 bucks. I don't know, this might be the best deal you can get. Some of the other ones out on the market aren't built nearly as good as these right here. Very solid build construction, and they look good too. The plastics match pretty well. Now the bars, they turned out amazing too. I really like those fat bars, so they made a great addition to this bike. And that bar pad looks pretty cool too. The ODI grips, they feel amazing, they look amazing, and they're really functional. It was really easy to cut the hole in the end of the grips to get our handguards to fit as well. Overall, this build was really easy. And then these foot pegs, probably the most functional piece of this entire upgrade build that we did. These IMS super stock, huge foot pegs, way bigger than what you get from stock on this bike. I don't know why Kawasaki did that. Super small foot pegs from the factory, but these IMS are really solid. Overall, very easy build, and for around, I want to say 300 bucks, maybe 350, we were able to get all these upgrades. Yeah, they're not cheap, but if you go quality, it's gonna last a lot longer, and that's what we're looking for with this bike. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.